Krishna devotees, welcome to Srimad Bhagavatam Stutis series. We are currently covering the Kunti Stuti. So we'll do the 19th shloka of the 8th chapter from Canto 1. Maya Javanika Channam
Maya Javanika Channam
Agnya Dhokshajam Avyayam
Agnya Dhokshajamau Vyayam
Nalakshase Mudhadrisha
Nalakshase Mudadrisha
Nato Natyadharo Yatha.
Nato Natyadharo Yatha.
Word for word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Maya,
Maya,
deluding.
deluding.
Javanika,
Javanika,
curtain.
curtain.
Achannam,
Achannam,
covered by.
covered by.
Agnya,
Agnya,
ignorant.
ignorant.
Adhokshajam,
Adhokshajam,
beyond the range of material conception.
beyond the range of material conception.
Transcendental.
Transcendental.
Avyayam,
Avyayam,
irreproachable.
irreproachable.
Na, not.
Not.
Lakshyase,
Lakshyase,
observed.
observed.
Mudhadrisha,
Mudhadrisha,
by the foolish observer.
by the foolish observer.
Nataha,
Nataha,
artist.
artist.
Natyadharaha,
Natyadharaha,
dressed as a player.
dressed as a player.
Yatha,
Yatha,
as. Translation. Being beyond the range of limited sense perception.
Being beyond the range of limited sense perception.
You are the eternally irreproachable factor.
You are the eternally irreproachable factor.
Covered by the curtain.
Covered by the curtain.
Of deluding energy.
Of deluding energy.
You are invisible to the foolish observer.
You are invisible to the foolish observer.
Exactly as an actor.
Exactly as an actor.
Dressed as a player.
Dressed as a player.
Is not recognized.
Is not recognized.
Okay. So in the earlier shloka, which is the 18th shloka where the stuti begins, Kunti Maharani offers her obeisances to Lord Krishna, saying that you are the original personality and you're not affected by Maya Devi, even though you are present here before us. And then Kunti Maharani says you are existing within and without everything, and yet you are not visible to all. So the Lord is only visible to his devotees. So here, in this particular purport, Prabhupada is writing, in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Shri Krishna affirms that less intelligent persons mistake him to be an ordinary man like us, and thus they deride him. So just because he is appearing like a human being, like an ordinary human being, they think that he's just someone who also has faults. And because they see his apparent faults, they begin to deride him. The same is confirmed herein by Queen Kunti. The less intelligent persons are those who rebel against the authority of the Lord. Of course, they also rebel against their spiritual master. They rebel against Shastra as well. They rebel against Sadhu as well. This is the position of less intelligent people. Vidura was always giving good counsel to Dhritarashtra. But because Dhritarashtra was consumed with so many desires on behalf of his son on behalf of himself, he really could not, nothing sunk in, as the saying goes. So such persons, Prabhupada says, are known as asuras. The asuras cannot recognize the Lord's authority. When the Lord himself appears amongst us as Rama, Nrsimha, Varaha, or in his original form as Krishna, he performs many wonderful acts which are humanly impossible. As we shall find in the 10th canto of this great literature, Lord Sri Krishna exhibited his humanly impossible activities even from the days of his lying on the lap of his mother. He killed Putana, which, although she smeared her breast with poison just to kill the Lord. So look at the temerity of Asuras. They think they have the power to kill the Lord. They don't recognize the Lord. And therefore, the Lord sucked her breast like a natural baby, and he sucked out her very life also. Similarly, he lifted the Govardhana hill, just as a boy picks up a frog's umbrella, and stood several days continuously just to give protection to the residents of Vrindavan. These are some of the superhuman activities of the Lord described in the authoritative Vedic literatures like the Puranas, Itihasas. Itihasas means histories, and Upanishads. He has delivered wonderful instructions in the shape of the Bhagavad Gita. He has shown marvelous capacities as a hero, as a householder, as a teacher, and as a renouncer. He is accepted as a supreme personality of Godhead by such authoritative personalities as Vyasa, Devala, Asita, Narada, Madhva, Shankara, Ramanuja, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jiva Goswami, Vishwanatha Chakravarti, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, and all other authorities of the line. So Prabhupada is saying, all these great personalities have confirmed that Lord Krishna is the Supreme One. He himself has declared as much in many places of the authentic literatures. You know, recently in the Western world, in the Catholic Church, Pope Francis passed away, and they had to elect a new Pope. And for the first time in the history of the Catholic Church, an American Pope, an American-born Pope, has been nominated or has taken on that role. And out of curiosity, I was watching some of the videos on the belief systems of the Catholic world. And what is interesting is that there is a line of, just like we have many branches, even in Dvaitism, they have a line that's emanating from a monk called Augustine. And this Augustine monk, he has said that there is nobody who can love you like the Lord can love you. In the sense, there is no better lover than the Supreme Lord himself. So I was quite fascinated that ultimately all of the philosophies actually tend to merge in the same thing that ISKCON is also preaching. So this is not anything new. So similarly, I was listening to some old videos of Sri Kanchi Periva of Kanchipuram, right? They actually come from Sri Shankaracharya philosophy. And it is said that one of the predecessor sannyasis of Sri Mahaperiva, that we normally call him as Mahaperiva, he only focused on one thing and one thing alone, which is Sankirtana, which is also very surprising because normally, yes, they do study the Vedic scriptures, they become experts in so many different languages. They have their own set of learnings that they dedicate their lives to. But still, even they have acharyas who have focused and dedicated and stressed the importance of Hari Sankirtana. So it is not surprising that all of us believe in the same Lord. We just look at him with different lenses and therefore we experience him differently. So Prabhupada is writing, he himself has declared as much in many places of the authentic literatures. He himself meaning the Lord himself. And yet there is a class of men with demoniac mentality who are always reluctant to accept the Lord as a supreme absolute truth. This is partially due to their poor fund of knowledge and partially due to their stubborn obstinacy, which results from various misdeeds in the past and present. So ultimately, Prabhupada is explaining why is it that certain category of people do not believe in the Lord or do not accept Him? For two reasons. One is they are ignorant, and two, they are very obstinate. And the reason that they are obstinate and ignorant is because of their past karmic reactions. Such persons could not recognize Lord Sri Krishna even when he was present before them. We have many examples. Duryodhana, Shishupala, so many. Another difficulty is that those who depend more on their imperfect senses cannot realize him as a Supreme Lord. Such persons are like the modern scientists. They want to know everything by their experimental knowledge, but it is not possible to know the Supreme Person by imperfect experimental knowledge. He is described herein as Adokshaja. I was reading the transcript of Prabhupada's lecture on this particular shloka in Mayapur, and Prabhupada explains this Adokshaja. He says, just like in the English alphabet, we have 26 alphabets from A to Z, and using those 26 alphabets, we write volumes and volumes of material literature. Similarly, Prabhupada says, even in Sanskrit, we have everything starting from the alphabet of A to Ksha. So this Akshaja is the entire set of alphabets in Sanskrit. So Prabhupada is explaining here, he is described herein as Adokshaja, or beyond the range of experimental knowledge. All our senses are imperfect. We claim to observe everything and anything, but we must admit that we can observe things under certain material conditions only, which are also beyond our control. The Lord is beyond the observation of sense perception. Queen Kunti accepts this deficiency of the conditioned soul, especially of the woman class who are less intelligent. And that shloka will come ahead where Kunti Maharani will say, what do I know about you? I'm just a woman. And women are not considered to be as intelligent. So the Lord is beyond the observation of sense perception. Queen Kunti accepts this deficiency of the conditioned soul, especially of the women class who are less intelligent. For less intelligent men, there must be such things as temples, mosques, or churches, so that they may begin to recognize the authority of the Lord and hear about him from authorities in such places. That means all of these institutions that are set up, temples that are set up, mosques and churches that are set up, they are set up to help you recognize the authority of the Lord and hear about him in a place that is conducive for spiritual learning. Going back to that Mayapur lecture that I was reading the transcript, Prabhupada says the first quality of a disciple is that they cannot argue anymore. They have to give up this quality of arguing. That means if you know you cannot argue anymore, that means you are in a better position to listen. But this argumentative mentality, Prabhupada says, has to be given up. Only then you can call yourself a disciple. So we claim to observe everything and anything, but we must admit that we can observe things under certain material conditions only, which are beyond our control. The Lord is beyond the observation of sense perception. And therefore, Queen Kunti is accepting that this is a deficiency in the Jivatmas. For less intelligent men, this beginning of spiritual life is essential, and only foolish men decry the establishment of such places of worship, which are required to raise the standard of spiritual attributes for the mass of people. That means there has to be a place where people can learn about the Lord and slowly begin to develop their faith and love for the Lord. And these establishments are places of worship. For less intelligent persons, bowing down before the authority of the Lord, as generally done in the temples, mosques, or churches, is as beneficial as it is for the advanced devotees to meditate upon him by active service. So, the beginning of the journey of spirituality is to learn how to bow down. Just as much as for the advanced devotees, that same level of humility comes from being engaged in service of the Lord. So here, Kunti Maharani is stating that there is a curtain that is covering the ignorant people who cannot recognize and see the Lord. Just like an actor who goes on the stage is dressed up with a lot of makeup and you don't know who the real person is. So here Kunti Devi is saying you are invisible to the foolish observer, exactly as an actor dressed as a player is not recognized. So especially for less intelligent people, since they cannot recognize the Lord, Mother Kunti Devi is putting herself in that position. This is the level of humility of pure devotees. I want to speak of us. We have a long way to go.
If you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell notification. If you'd like to join our classes every day, please check the details in the description section of this video. We look forward to serving you.